Number 10. The eternal inflation forest fire. Scientific models suggest that our Big Bang was not the definitive start of reality, but merely a localized spark in an infinite, exponentially expanding foam. We exist inside a single bubble universe, a tiny pocket of stability adrift in an ABY-SAL inflationary field that moves faster than the universal speed limit of 186,282 miles per second. This primordial fire has been raging for eternity, birthing and annihilating entire realities before our sun even existed. According to data tracked by NASA and the European Space Agency, our entire 13.8 billion year history is nothing more than a cooling ember from a cosmic forest fire that is still burning beyond our horizon. If the universe is an infinite inflationary ocean, are you ready to accept that you are just a single atom inside a droplet that is already evaporating? But the stability you feel is a lie. You wake up every morning assuming the ground will stay solid and the sun will rise. You call this nature. We call it a temporary reprieve from annihilation. The physical laws you consider absolute gravity, the strength of an atom, the flow of time are not universal constants. They are merely local weather conditions in a chaotic and indifferent cosmos. According to the cosmological principle, matter should be distributed evenly, yet we find structures like the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall that shouldn't exist. It stretches 10 billion light years across. Far too massive to have formed since the Big Bang began. This structure proves that our understanding of order is fundamentally flawed. Life is not a chosen outcome. It is a biological glitch. We are a chemical accident that occurred because our specific region of space happened to be momentarily stagnant. Consider the scale of your insignificance. If an atom were expanded to the size of a football stadium, the nucleus would be a small marble in the center and the rest would be empty space. You and everything you have ever touched are made of 99.999% nothing. Your sense of stability is an illusion generated by a brain that processes images in 13 milliseconds, far too slow to see the true nature of reality. The universe operates at the Planck scale, where time intervals are as short as 5.39 times 10 to the minus 44th power seconds. We are living in slow motion, blind to the primordial violence of the vacuum. Imagine the Earth as a polished bowling ball. The entire atmosphere that sustains your lungs, the thin layer of gas that keeps the vacuum of space from boiling your blood, is thinner than a layer of mist left by a human breath on that ball's surface. That is our sanctuary, a smear of vapor on a cold, rotating rock. The universe is not your home. It is a sterile, cooling graveyard where your existence is a statistical anomaly. If the 13.8 billion year history of the cosmos were compressed into a single 24-hour day, all of human history would occupy less than the last TWO seconds. We are a single spark in a dark room that has already been forgotten. The mystery deepens when we realize we might be living in a recycled graveyard. Number 9, the recycled brain collision. In this framework, our entire observable universe exists on a three-dimensional membrane, or brain, floating in a higher dimensional void called the bulk. Alongside us, another parallel brain drifts in the darkness. Periodically, these two surfaces collide. This catastrophic impact converts kinetic energy into the white-hot matter and radiation of a new Big Bang. The previous universe is not just destroyed, it is recycled. Every atom in your body is built from the crushed debris of a predecessor that vanished trillions of years ago. The energy released in this collision is unfathomable. It dwarfs the Chicxulub impact that deleted the dinosaurs, an event that released energy equivalent to 100 trillion tons of TNT. A brain collision is a total system reformat. No civilization, no star, and no memory survives the transition. The universe before ours had its own intelligent species asking these same questions. They are gone, erased so thoroughly that not a single physical trace persists. The cycle is merciless and infinite, a relentless clock that destroys everything it creates. Number 8, the zero energy fluctuation. In 1973, physicist Edward Tryon published a paper in Nature suggesting something that challenges the very concept of existence. He proposed the universe is a quantum fluctuation that emerged spontaneously from genuine nothingness. This is possible because our universe might have a total energy of exactly zero. The positive energy contained in matter is perfectly balanced by the negative energy of gravity. In the language of physics, the universe is a free lunch, a structure that requires no energy to exist. Quantum mechanics permits such zero-energy systems to appear from the vacuum for brief moments before annihilating back into the void. We are that fluctuation, occurring at a catastrophic cosmic scale. But fluctuations are by definition temporary. If reality emerged from a vacuum fluctuation, it can and will return to one. There will be no explosion, no slow burn extinction, and no warning. The physical structure of your brain would be destroyed faster than a nerve impulse can travel from your eye to your consciousness. It takes 13 milliseconds for your brain to recognize an image. The reversal of a vacuum fluctuation happens at the speed of light. You would cease to exist before you knew you were being hit. The abyssal silence of space is not a sanctuary. It is a waiting room. What is more disturbing is the idea that we were never the intended result. Number 7. Cosmological natural selection. Theoretical models suggest that every time a black hole forms, it creates a new baby universe inside its singularity. Universes that produce more black holes generate more offspring. This means the physical constants we observe are not tuned for life. They are optimized for gravitational collapse. We are a biological glitch in a process designed to manufacture ABYSSAL voids. The universe is indifferent to your chemistry. You are merely accidental trash produced during the mechanical process of stellar suicide. Number 6. The scars of dead universes. When a universe reaches its heat death, it resets. In a sterile state of maximum entropy, the concept of scale vanishes, making a dead universe mathematically identical to a new Big Bang. But this transition leaves fingerprints. According to a study published in Nature, anomalous circular patterns called Hawking points have been detected in the oldest light of the sky. These are thermal signatures from evaporated supermassive black holes belonging to a reality that died before ours began. They are primordial scars on the fabric of our existence. To understand the scale of these ghosts, imagine our sun as a single white blood cell. In that comparison, these thermal scars would be catastrophic marks covering the entire continental United States. The density required to trigger such a transition is UN fathomable. A single teaspoon of neutron star material weighs approximately 1 billion tons. At the moment of the big bounce, the entire cosmos was crushed to densities millions of times greater than that teaspoon. We are breathing the sterile ash of a previous extinction. The kicker is that the very space you occupy might be an illusion. Number 5. The holographic principle. Theoretical physicists propose a reality so incoherent that it defies every biological instinct you possess. The holographic principle suggests that our three-dimensional universe is not fundamental reality. Instead, everything you experience, every mountain, every star, and every conscious thought is a holographic projection of information encoded on a two-dimensional boundary. You do not exist in space. You exist as a pattern of data on an abyssal, distant surface, projected inward to create the illusion of depth. Patterns detected in the cosmic microwave background radiation are mathematically consistent with this holographic model. If this is true, the universe before ours was not a place, but a different arrangement of data on a substrate we can never touch. Number 4. The Big Bounce. Loop quantum gravity suggests a sterile reality. At the smallest possible scale, the Planck length of 1.6 times 10 to the minus 35th power meters, space is not a smooth fabric but a granular weave of quantum loops. As a previous universe contracted under its own gravity, it reached a critical density that the structure of space itself could no longer support. The result was a big bounce. To comprehend the violence of this event, we look at the Schwarzschild radius formula. If you were to compress the entire mass of the Earth, all 1.3 times 10 to the 25th power pounds, it would need to fit into a space the size of a marble to collapse. During the Big Bounce, the mass of trillions of galaxies was crushed into a volume smaller than a single human red blood cell. Every civilization that arose in that prior cosmos was pulverized into this primordial seed. This leads us to a reality where even math feels like a prison. Number 3, the mathematical universe. The universe isn't just described by mathematics, it is mathematics. In this framework, our cosmos is a static, eternal, mathematical object that simply exists in a primordial landscape of all possible structures. There was no creation because numbers do not require a beginning. The passage of time is merely an internal property of the equation, a trick of the biological brain. If you were to search for yourself in this infinite data set, you would find only a catastrophic repetition of the same biological patterns. Number 2, the quantum foam. At the smallest possible scale, the smooth fabric of space and time dissolves into a churning froth of quantum fluctuations known as quantum foam. This is the event horizon of reality, where geometry becomes uncertain and the laws of physics break down entirely. At this scale, the concepts of before and after are incoherent. If the history of the universe were the height of the Empire State Building, our entire civilization would be thinner than a single coat of paint on the very top floor. We exist for a Planck time 5.39 times 10 to the minus 44th power seconds in the eyes of the primordial void. Beyond this limit, there is only the deafening silence of a universe that does not acknowledge our presence. But there is a cage we can never escape, the paradox of biological blindness. As we trace the universe backward toward the Big Bang, the smooth fabric of reality begins to unravel. At the primordial origin, time undergoes a catastrophic transformation. The universe does not have a boundary in time any more than the surface of a sphere has a physical edge. This creates a deafening silence for our logical systems. Asking what existed before the Big Bang becomes literally meaningless. It is like asking for directions to a point 2 miles north of the North Pole. Human cognition is a biological glitch built on temporal reasoning. We are trapped in a logical cage, screaming into a vacuum that has no before and no after. Finally, we arrive at the ultimate statistical nightmare. Number 1, the Boltzmann genesis. The probability of this specific ordered cosmos arising by chance is calculated to be 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the 123rd power. This number is so massive that it dwarfs every atom in the observable universe. But in an infinite expanse of thermal equilibrium, even the impossible yields to certainty. It is mathematically more likely that a single self-aware brain would spontaneously fluctuate into existence in a sterile void, complete with false memories of a life in a 13.8 billion year history, than for an entire evolved universe to exist. You cannot prove you are a biological being reading words on a screen. Statistically, you are more likely a momentary fluctuation in an abyssal nothingness already dissolving back into the void. We are not special. We are a biological glitch in a cooling graveyard. Our entire history is a single spark in a dark room that has already been forgotten. We always wonder if anyone out there is watching us, but the most terrifying truth is they finished watching, finished evaluating, and decided to turn their backs. Thank you for watching and sticking till the end. We've got plenty more videos coming in the future. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss them. See you in the next one.